Good morning. I'm Sandy Kimmerly. I am the practitioner of the day today, and I'll be doing the pre-service meditation. It's so nice to see all of you. We have some Easter bonnets out there or spring outfits. So if you want to get comfortable in your seats, maybe take a couple of deep breaths and settle in. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. April brings Ramadan, Passover, and Easter, as well as other spiritual holidays that are here for us to enjoy with family and friends. While we often celebrate with others, there is also a very personal aspect to this. The CSL Affirmation for this week is, I am open. I am an open, dazzling channel for inspiration and peace. To open to inspiration and peace, we have to drop our ego and maybe do things in a way that is new to us. As we drop our ego, we move toward a lasting fulfillment. We stop and ask what our souls need, not what our egos want. For real transformation, we practice to rise above and be open. Please repeat these lines to yourself after I say them aloud. Then we will have a few minutes of silence for your contemplation. I am an open, dazzling channel for inspiration and peace. As such, I have dropped my ego and moved toward fulfillment. Looking ahead, I elevate my soul. In doing so, I inspire myself and others. And finally, I am an open, dazzling channel for inspiration and peace. am an open, dazzling channel for inspiration and peace. As such, I have dropped my ego and moved toward fulfillment. Looking ahead, I elevate my soul. In doing so, I inspire myself and others. I am an open, dazzling, and peace. When you are ready, start coming back into the room. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. Smile. It's good exercise for your face. And open your eyes. Namaste.
from whom? Baruch? Marcy. Wonder why I didn't get Well, Marcy's good people, man. Marcy is good people. Climbing my legs.
Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to CSL Prescott. Whether you're here or online, we're glad you're with us. You're welcome just as you are. Thank you, Sandy, for that pre-service meditation. I was listening to that and I was wondering, if instead of complaining and condemning, what if we all became a channel for inspiration and peace? I wonder, would that create a world that works for everyone? I wonder. I want to take a moment to recognize some special people that put in time in your center last week. They worked in the garden, they cleaned out and rearranged the shed, they cleaned out and rearranged the storage room, they prepared our Easter eggs and our flowers, they prepared lunch today, they cleaned the furniture outside in the courtyard so that we can eat outside today. With great appreciation, I'd like to recognize Patricia, Claire, Pearl, Mike, Diane, Sudra, Nancy, Nina, Bob, Jim, Sandy, and myself. I also want to thank the people who brought food for lunch today. And I'm sorry I don't know who brought what, but thank you. Hopefully we'll continue having people step up and be an inspiration to us all. Yesterday afternoon, led by Reverend Kath, your board had a play shop dealing with responsibilities and procedures for the board. I learned things about our job I never heard before. For some of us, that meeting lasted way into the night. On Thursday night, you'll have a chance to learn more about yourself and the center, the roles you might play in visioning and demonstration, our new story on a hybrid presentation by Reverend Kath. Please stick around today after service. Enjoy our celebration. We have an adult Easter egg hunt, we have a nice lunch, and we'll be planting Albin's rose bush. We're also collecting to buy a commemorative plaque in his name. So please look for the cowboy hat. Please enjoy the service and have a wonderful afternoon. Blessings to you all.
Good morning. I'm Sandy Kimberly, and I will be your practitioner of the day today. We'll start with the opening prayer. Spirit has provided this beautiful spring day. As expressions of the One, we come together, relishing the beauty of the day, the camaraderie of family and friends, and the simple joy of oneness. As we celebrate all of this together, from the flowers to Jackson's songs, to Reverend Kat's talk, to our wonderful performers, we are elevated and inspired. And together we say, and so it is.
Happy Easter, everybody. I think this one is appropriate for Easter. This one says anything is possible because I believe. And it's an Easter toe tapper. You see what I'm talking about? Yes, clapping is not mandatory, but encouraged. Goes like this. Said anything is possible, 'cause I believe. I said anything is possible, because I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move, 'cause I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move, because I believe. Don't I know that I can change my life, 'cause I believe. I said I know that I can change my life, 'cause I believe. In myself, come on. In myself, yeah. In myself. In myself. Well, I'm gonna make a miracle, because I believe. I said I'm gonna make a miracle, because I believe. Well, everything I want I got, because I believe. I said everything I want I got, because I believe. In myself. In myself. Say what? In myself. In myself. And Eddie Watkins likes to say that I believe in me, so I believe in you. And since we believe in each other, there ain't nothing that we can't do. They're gonna make a miracle. Make a miracle. We can make a miracle. Make a miracle. We can make a miracle. Make a miracle. We can make a miracle. Make a miracle.
All right, Jackson, what can we make? A miracle.
I don't know if y'all know this, but Hazel is like when you're playing a song, Hazel is like a shot of espresso up here.
Uh-oh. Thank you. And hello, good morning. Happy Easter. Happy Pesach, which is Hebrew for Passover. Holy Ramadan. And though it was last week, Blessed Bodhi. Oh my gosh, isn't it wonderful that this month so many different people around the world are celebrating the divine. You'd almost think it was a conspiracy of love, wouldn't you? Oh, but welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott. Please know that wherever you've been, whatever experiences you've had in your life journey, you are entirely welcome here today. Just the way you are, and just the way that you perceive that you are not. Because I can assure you, here at the Center for Spiritual Living, we see you through the eyes of divine love, and therefore we see you as perfect, complete, valued in every single way. My name is Hazel Bowman, and I have the joy of being the service leader on this beautiful day. I am one of a circle of licensed practitioners who serve this center. With me on the platform is Sandy Kimberly. If you were here earlier, she did a fabulous pre-service meditation. Thank you so much, Sandy. And that lovely invocation, knowing that presence of spirit is already right here. And then later on, she'll be doing a brief in-service meditation before she steps off the platform and does what we refer to as high watch, which means that she is holding the center in consciousness, knowing that good is already unfolding in every single minute. We here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott, we provide spiritual tools to help transform your life and to make this world a better place. Now, the beauty is, in doing this, you have that circle of practitioners to assist you in transforming your life, because you don't have to do it by yourself. Isn't that wonderful to know? And so you'll see in your seat pocket in front of you, should you desire prayer of any type, maybe there's something that's taking you out of, your comfort zone, or maybe there's something that you want to specifically know the spiritual truth, fill out this ministry of prayer, because one thing we practitioners do love to do is pray and teach. And so go ahead and fill this out, and you'll notice at the very bottom we have what you agree to accept and embody, because as we pray with you for this week, we want you to claim that for yourself as well, knowing that you are peace or love or whole or joy. And you can put those right outside our sanctuary doors. There's a little prayer box there, and Sandy will be picking those up later on, and then we'll be praying on that for the entire week, knowing the truth with you. Or if you desire, you can go ahead and have what we call a practitioner one-on-one session. This is where you have an opportunity to meet with a practitioner for about an hour or so. And this is where we have an opportunity to go even deeper into what is occurring in your life or why. Or maybe you just want to talk about your myths that you have held for a long time about spirit. And that would be interesting too, what myths or misconceptions you might have about the divine that perhaps we can give a different perspective on. Or if you desire, you can also have what we refer to as a 3-minute miracle. Those practitioners who are in service are wearing this stole, and after service you can just come on up, share with us what's going on, and we'll know the truth with you. We'll do a very brief, what we call affirmative prayer for you. You know, the beauty about all of this is that there are so many ways to know the divine. I invite the candlelighters to step forward, please. Because isn't it wonderful to know that though we all come from so many different perspectives, so many different thoughts and ideas, that we still all come to the same conclusion, that of spirit, and that essence of spirit. So here at the Center for Spiritual Living, we honor all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed to his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heavens and the earth.
A community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For Native American traditions and those who walk the Good Red Road, including the people of the sun, better known as the Yavapai.
For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone, or wisdom keeper.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it.
Thank you so much, ladies. Namaste. And so that we may add our affirmation to what we've just said here, I invite you to please read this with me. For we are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
Sing this with me. How could anyone ever tell you you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than all? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you are connected to my soul. Now we'll say I. How could anyone ever tell me I was anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell me I was less than all? How could anyone fail to notice that my loving is a miracle? How deeply I'm connected to my soul. Us. How could anyone ever tell us we were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell us we were less than all? How could anyone fail to notice that our loving is a miracle? How deeply we're connected to our soul. How deeply we're connected to our soul.
We are beautiful. We are a miracle. We are love. Please relax into your chairs and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath and let it out. Ernest Holmes said, "From such daily meditation, you should venture forth into a life of action with the will to do, the determination to be, and a joy in becoming." We often say, treat, treat, and move your feet. Whatever words you choose, the important part is to think about what you want or what you need to do, and then move in that direction. We will spend a few minutes in contemplation on this affirmation. I am an open, dazzling channel for inspiration and peace. When you are ready, come back into the room. Maybe take a breath and wiggle your fingers, smile, and open your eyes. Namaste.
And our guest soloist today is a vision of pure light. And I'm lucky enough to call him a friend. This is Terry Furlong.
Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter. Thank you. There's a feeling that I'm floating on a calm sea before the storm. I am restless and so uneasy, and my sun-bleached sails hang limp and torn. Yeah.
wait now for a long, long time for a warm breeze to move my life. Feels closer now as I get older. Feel the warm wind come and move me to the other side. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Be still and know that everything's alright. Be sure and go when every step's in stride. Be still and know, be very, very wise. Be sure and go when you know the time is right. Woo! Now there is a warm breeze that has shown itself, and I have rigged the sail best that I can. I have faith in him, oh, I have faith in me. I've drifted for as long as I ran, oh yeah, as I ran. Be still and know that everything's alright. Be sure and go when every step's in stride. Be still and know, be very, very wise. Be sure and go when you know the time is right. Look out. Be still and know. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Terry. You bless us with your music and the words of them. Ah, yes. And no, yes, I do know, because here's something that's going to be just, this is so perfect. You know, because at the beginning of the year, I really did not know this lady. None of us did. And now, these few short months later, she is so close to our heart. My pleasure to introduce to you our minister, our beloved Reverend Kath.
Well, good morning. Happy Easter, whatever that means to you. It's all good. It's all okay, right? Anyone ever feel a little stretched? Or maybe like your life is just gotten out of control. Or feel like it's just over the top. Or maybe you feel like some surges of energy and power. Anyone ever feel like that? Yes. Well, you're not alone. And, you know, it's there's nothing wrong with you. It's part of spring. You know, it's something is happening in us as well. You know, we're one with with nature. So along with everything that's going on in nature, it's going on in us as well. So, you know, we used to think that trees and plants were dead in the winter. They look that way, right? And yet there's something so magnificent going on beneath the scenes. Behind the scenes, you know, they are resting, they are recuperating, they are regenerating, they are getting ready for that bloom, that burst of flowers and the leaves. And that takes a lot of time and preparation. You know, we kind of go through that cycle of life, that cycle of the year, that cycle of nature. We have our time in the winter. We might hibernate a little bit. I know I like to sleep a little bit more. Get like a bear in a cave, you know. Things are a little quieter. And, you know, there's a resting, there's a recouping, there's a regenerating, there's a recreation going on within us. and then there's this burst. So what you're feeling is very normal and very natural. So no alarm. So, we do this. This is really happening once a year in an exaggerated form, but it's really happening on a regular basis as well. We do this every time we, turn inward and we're, consciously thinking about, the things that we want, or doing our spiritual practices in order to create outwardly. And so we're putting those mental and spiritual energies, we're working with them, they're working with us. We're setting an intention of what we want to create. And indeed, there is an upheaval as that seed that we planted in our minds is breaking through the surface. Sometimes it feels like we're breaking through ground, right? And we just have to hang on, because it's just part of it, that. But really, when we think about it, something that was invisible before is breaking into form. It's breaking into the visible. And so with that transition that's going on, and with the demonstration of something that we've created in our minds, with that coming into form, we are also transformed. We are transformed. We are coming forth the next iteration of ourselves. So we may have thought that the experience of having the thing that we desired, was about that. But it is really about us. In reality, we are transformed in the process. So meet the new you. Say hello to the new you today. Hi. Give yourself a hug. If we could only remember this. I try to remember this, especially every spring, because it seems like there's a little bit more challenge going on. Life is like, encouraging me to grow and to become more. It's helpful to know this. It really is. It's the creative process itself. So looking more closely at the creative process, it helps to know that we all have this really cool feature that we come into this physical body with. Because we exist in this universal field of mind, which is everything, which is all, the minute we make any kind of definitive statement, declaration, say something, say we require something, the minute that we do that, whatever we said ceases to be just our own personal business. It is broadcast everywhere. It becomes universally known. So sharing the one mind that we do, what is known at one place is known at all places at the same time. Whether someone is tuned into it or not is another thing. But we really have access to so much information that we have no idea about. And each time we make a declaration, or state a need, or make an affirmation, or do an affirmative prayer, or spiritual mind treatment, the creation of the very thing that we said begins to take form, and that form is custom tailored to us. It's custom tailored to us. Someone else could have that same desire, set the same intention, and it's going to come out looking differently. Why? Because we are all unique representations of spirit, source, life, God, whatever you want to call it. We are a unique representation of spirit. So we offer a point of attraction like no other. So things are going to look different. So while we may think that our statement that we said is coming from little old us for our ears only, it now has become a universal project. Did you know that? acted upon by the entire universe. I mean, we really got to get this, don't we? It's big. We kick off a process, and then, spirit life kicks in with more ideas, wisdom, guidance, next steps, and then works behind the scenes with whomever or whatever else is needed to bring that into form. We got to get out of this little picture that it's just our little life and we're doing this all by ourselves. This is a really cool feature that we come in with. Do you know that human beings have, for as long as we've been coming into form as a human being, all of them have come in with this feature. All of the generations that are coming in after us, they all come in with this feature. Whether we know it or not, whether we can use it or not, is another thing. Isn't it great to know this? I know that a lot of you know this already, but it really is helpful to look at these again and again from new perspectives. So we aren't really playing with fire when we, make a statement that's all, broadcast everywhere, but we really are working with an immensely powerful creator. The creator of all is the creator in us. It's the creator in us. So can you see how knowing this and understanding this, practicing it, can really make a difference as to whether someone leads a so-so life or an extraordinary life? Can you see that? So I ran across a story that kind of exemplifies this in real life. Sometimes I like stories because they just really help bring the point home. And I love to bring points home. So this one, I like food too, so it's about a chef. And his name is Daniel Humm, and he's a Swiss chef. Try to say that. I thought I had that down. In his early 40s, he owned a restaurant in New York City called 11 Madison Park. And in 2010, his restaurant got an award for being 1 in 50 of the world's best restaurants. He's only 40. Now, not long after that, they received an award for being number 1. Number 1 in the world. How did he accomplish that? Well, he not only believed in exceptionally delicious food, but along with that, gracious service. Gracious service. Everything was done with great care and attention to detail, exquisite attention. They even set an intention for every new dish that they created. So can you see how much more delicious and satisfying this food could be? How well fed his patrons really were, with all that love and intention mixed into the actual ingredients. Now, I don't know if he knows the creative process or not, but he is living it. He's exemplifying it. And that's all that matters, right? That's all that really matters. And he says our best work comes when we really challenge each other. It's not always easy, but it made us unstoppable. That's quite an affirmation. Made us unstoppable. So weeks after they received their award for being number 1, he closed down the restaurant. Now, why would he do that? So he quoted William de Kooning, the famous Dutch-American abstract expressionist, who inspired him, and William said, I have to change to stay the same. So he said, I have to change to stay the same. And what he's really saying is, I too have to keep growing and expanding. I can't keep doing the same things that I've always done and expect different and better results. I have to up my game. And he knew that he couldn't rest on his laurels. He had to keep going, expanding himself, pushing the boundaries of himself, and helping to do that with those around him as well. He said it's easy to get to number one. It's a whole nother thing to stay number one. So he decided to create a whole better than ever menu and to have a whole new look to his restaurant that would reflect the new intention that he set. And one of the things that they did was they took all the pots and pans and anything metal in the kitchen and they melted it down. I don't even know how you do that in the city. They melted it down and they created a step that you could walk, as a step going into the entrance of their new restaurant. So anyone walking into their restaurant, into the new restaurant, was walking over this very expensive step, or very expensive looking step, in order to get into the new. Walking over the old to get into the new. I just was so impressed. And he said, passion is not a hobby. It's not something we just wish or like to have. He said, you have to be willing to suffer for it. Now, we don't believe in the science of mind teaching. We don't believe in suffering. But I believe what he's saying is that you have to be able to put your heart and soul into what you say that you want, and there will always be things that we have to give up when we, in order for us to keep the focus on what is most important to us. You just can't do it all. And I love this story because it is a beautiful example of someone immersed in the creative process, living on the cutting edge of what's possible. We need stories like this. We need stories like this to remind us, to stay awake to the idea that we are living a precious life. The potential that is waiting for us to be tapped into is, beyond anything that we can imagine. And for us to be who we really came here to be. What we do affects everyone and everything. The way that we do things, some of us are doers and we really want to get through the to-do list. I've had to change because of this teaching. It has transformed me, but it's still something you work on. You want to get through the things, but it really is about the way that we're doing them. The to-do list will always be there. The minister that I replaced years ago, the minister emeritus for us, Dr. Roy Graves, I guess he's showing up today. I wasn't planning on him showing up, but he did. He used to say, I clean off my desk. I'm just trying to get, clarity, and then stuff just keeps on coming. Well, that's just how it is, so you really have to just slow it down by doing it the right way, doing things, taking the time, to do things the right way. The success that we achieve for everyone, not just ourselves. And the things that we rise above and get beyond, we do for all. Why? Because we're one. We're one. We are one. We are living the one life of spirit together. We are one. I don't think we have to go out and create a new restaurant. That's not what I'm saying. Maybe somebody wants to do that. That's not the point. But the questions that we have to ask ourselves are, what are we called to do? What are we called to do, and how can we do it with greater passion and joy? How can we live our lives with more gusto? What if we really knew that we were invincible spirit incarnated into these bodies? Invincible spirit. What if we knew that we were backed by the entire universe with every desire? the universe, spirit, life, source wants us to succeed. It wants us to enjoy the paradise that it has created and the opportunity for us that is here. Andrew Cohen, author of Evolutionary Enlightenment, writes, "It needs us on this level of things to expand itself. It needs us on this level of things to expand itself." It needs us. We don't just need life or our higher self or source or whatever. It needs us to keep on going. In this thing called you, Ernest Holmes writes, "You exist that the divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity may be expressed through you." You exist for that purpose, that divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity may be expressed through you. That's a tall order, isn't it? Some days taller than others. Just like Chef Hum, we always have an opportunity, don't we, to create something new out of what was, out of our past, out of what was yesterday, and push the boundaries of what's possible. We have that opportunity all the time. We have to change to stay the same or to stay at the level that we're staying, the level that we are. Life really demands that we evolve, that we keep on evolving, that we stay in the game, in order to thrive and be happy. And it's really about doing the little things with extreme love and care. We don't have to worry about so much the big things. I can say a lot of the bigger things in my life have just really unfolded very perfectly and naturally as I focused on the things before me that I could do with great love and attention. So if we focus on things with greater love and attention, every possible moment that we can, every interaction that we can, life is going to happen for us, through us, and around us, if we continue to live in that way. Now, like the chef's restaurant, we can create here and in our lives, in our marriages, in our families, in our neighborhoods, in the world. We can create a space, a sacred space. We can create a sacred container, an environment, a culture that really, embraces this idea that we can all live, play, work together, demonstrating results that support individual and collective growth and expansion. We can do that, continuously surpassing what has been, especially in regards to loving one another. We can do that. If we want to achieve the rewards of living an exceptional life, we must put it all on the table. We have to open our hearts. We have to let down our ego defenses. And as Ernest Holmes wrote, apropos for today, be determined to roll away the stone from the tomb of the hidden self. Be determined to roll away the stone from the tomb of the hidden self. So I would like to close with a beautiful poem by Holly Holden I ran across years ago. And it's called, "What Wants to Be Born in You, Beloved?" So just kind of accept this for yourself. Take these words in, and then I'll move into a little treatment. What wants to be born in you, beloved? I have become grateful for the moments when I remember to stop in order to listen to what the earth has to tell me. This morning, it was a flower who took me by surprise and shared her secrets with me. She told me of her journey, how it began in darkness, in the quiet, cool embrace of the quiet, generous earth. She told me how the light called to her and how slowly but solidly she began to unfold towards the simple inevitability of her calling. She told me of the exquisite cracking open of all she knew herself to be, the opening that felt like death, until she realized it was her birth. And then, with her open petals, she asked me in a way only a full-bloomed flower can ask. What wants to be born in you, beloved? What does the light want to call into being from the quiet, generous earth that waits patiently in the cave of your heart? So in closing, let's know this together, that we are a part of something so much greater than we are aware or that we know. We are something so much more than we appear to be. We are a part of a glorious process, a glorious divine plan that is unfolding beautifully and perfectly right here and right now, in this room, in this center, in each and every one of us, and in all everywhere. We celebrate our divinity, the divine, our divine self. We celebrate that which is born anew today. We are grateful for this opportunity to be alive, to be here, to be inspired to practice these ideas, to be in touch with our higher self, to know our oneness with the infinite. All is truly well. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Thank you, God. Thank you, Life. All is well, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be. Well, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be.
And that's what all these beautiful flowers are about. We're going to create a basket together. And so what I'm going to invite the, we're going to have the kids lead the way, but you're going to pick a flower that represents the new you today, and you're going to place it in the basket wherever you feel called to place it. And so if we could invite the children to kick us off, and then you can just get in line and follow them. There is a pair of scissors up there in case you want to change the size of your stem. I know there are various stems, I'm told, that are lengths of stems here. So anyway, invite you to come up. It's not done yet. one side is just as pretty as the other, but I don't think I can do that. Well, maybe. I'm just going to leave them here. This is you. This is us. This is the community. Each is a divine, beautiful representation or flower and this is everyone together. This is life. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wasn't that unbelievable? The gifts that we each give, not only to the world, but also to ourselves when we allow ourselves just to be who we truly are, which are these beautiful, symbolized are these beautiful flowers and buds. And so at this time, we also ask that you give, at this time, not only the flowers that are within your heart, but also maybe some of the flowers within your pocket. Because in this moment of our message, so that we may continue to bless this world, we ask if you like to please make a love offering to continue to support this center and going forward. And you can do so, you can either online right now, you can see the text that is available, or you can go ahead and go on to CSL Prescott.org, and you'll see the Give Donation section, so feel free to do that. But what we do ask, no matter what it is that we want you to truly bless it. For the money that you have is that law of circulation then that goes out and blesses this world. And you may make your love offering. There's a box out there in the entryway. But what I do ask, and here's the text to tithe, 844-917-1240. But wherever you are, however you give, in blessing it, I ask that you say this affirmation with me. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank you again, Reverend Kath, for a beautiful tradition. And now, Terry, I'm going to tell you, I think that's a tough act to follow, but if anyone can do it, it's Terry. Come on up.
I remember that song. Nights are cold, you've got it all. When Mama calls you on the phone and says, I love you, don't be gone too long, you've got it all. You've got it all. If you got God in your life, in times of joy and times of strife, you've got it all. If you can stop and say a prayer and just be thankful to be here, you've got it all. You've got it all. If you've got a friend that cares, that takes the time to call and share, you've got it all. If you can lend a helping hand because it's needed, and you can, you've got it all. You've got it all. You've got everything that means anything at all. If you've got God in your life, in times of joy and times of strife, you've got it all. If you've got a friend that cares, that takes the time to call and share, you've got it all. If you can lend a helping hand because it's needed, and you can, you've got it all. You've got it all. You've got everything that means anything at all. You've got it all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Terry. And you know, those words really do make us realize we do have it all, don't we?
Yes.
We really do. How perfect is that? And so right now, what I would like to do, we are just delighted to have you all here. But if you've been here for the very first time, or perhaps it's been a while since we've had the opportunity to see you, if you'd like to stand up and introduce yourself and maybe share where you're from, we would enjoy saying hi to you. And no nudging or kicking anybody, but does anybody want to stand up and introduce themselves? Ah, some brave souls. Yes.
I'm Joe. We're here in Prescott.
Well, we are so glad to have you here for celebrating this day with us. Thank you so much. Anybody else who'd like to say hi? Yes.
Gail Scanlon, Gary Stewart's sister, moved here from Hampshire.
Well, what a joy it is to have you here with us today. Anyone else? Anyone? Oh, for those here who are here for the first time, have introduced yourself, we invite you first to go to our bookstore. We have some free books for you, for your choice, whatever you have, just as you're on your spiritual journey. It's one of the spiritual tools we provide, but do go there to our bookstore. And also you're invited to join us for our wonderful, wonderful celebratory meal in fellowship outside in Sibley Hall. So please know that we would love to see you there. Okay. Well, with that, of course, now we've got to introduce the greatest, don't you think, Jackson? The little miniature versions of us?
Here they come.
The Children Association of Awesomeness. Come on in. right. Whoa. Okay. Well, who wants to share? Seamus?
So today we did some Easter games, and that was fun and hard. They were very hard. And then we also got some prizes for doing that. And then we painted some eggs.
Whoa. All right. What did you want to share? Are you going to do it? Okay.
We got like these little things that are paperish, and we put them over the plastic eggs to make them look pretty.
Yes, you did.
You can say whatever you want. You want to just say hi?
Hi.